but it's also important to note that development is probably one of the hardest things to do when it comes to real estate because there are so many different layers and levels that you have to climb and so many different partners that you have to work with, so many different hats that you have to wear, which is why I call myself a mayor.
Wow. Look at that, buddy. Say hi. I know. Look at the Oscar Mayer. We at the Henry Ford Museum. About to go check out the Nelson Mandela exhibit. Last day. And it's a pretty decent line.
Show your little film.
Edison wants to say hi.
I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream. I have a dream one day that every hill shall be made low, and the crooked places shall be made straight. And the glory of God shall be revealed for all flesh to see it together. This is our hope. This is our faith. This is the faith that we go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that one day, we all will be free. And that will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. If America's to become a great nation, this must be true. So let freedom ring. Let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the heightened Alleghanies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped mountains of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous peaks of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi. When we let it ring, when we let freedom ring from every village and every hamlet, from every city and every state, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, and Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands together and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty. We are free at last.
Eddy Carrington once again, and just giving you a little bit about, I guess, the journey of how I was able to get to this point of developing an $8.2 million project on East Warren here in Detroit. I actually started off investing in single family properties and doing fix and flips. And I basically learned how to do the fix and flip investments through people who worked at the big three. When I worked at the bank, I actually had a lot of clients that looked at real estate as their primary source of retirement, not their 401k, not their pension. They looked at real estate as retirement income. And so, basically seeing them be successful at purchasing properties, fixing them up, and renting them out, kind of gave me motivation to try my hand at getting into the real estate business in the early 2000s. I never really looked at real estate as a primary business. I always looked at it as a side hustle because that's how the individuals who motivated me to get into the real estate realm looked at it as well. Fast forward to roughly 2017, 2018, I started getting introduced to a lot of these larger real estate developers in the city of Detroit that actually looked and talked like me. So Richard Hosey, Cliff Brown, Roderick Hardiman, for an example. These are individuals that are tackling very large projects in the city of Detroit, not just single family properties, but we're talking, 18, 20, 100 unit projects. And when I saw them doing what they were doing, I said, you know what, how come I couldn't do that as well? So I started looking into other opportunities to gain knowledge in the commercial real estate realm and came across the Better Buildings, Better Blocks initiative, which eventually introduced me to the Capital Impact Partners Equitable Development Initiative that really taught me real estate from a master class perspective. They went over so much, detail on how to get a project from idealization to completion from the commercial side. And that gave me the motivation to submit an RFP on the project that I'm developing now, ultimately having an opportunity to win that RFP, which obviously is not the end of it all, because once you win a project, you still have to go through the process of pre-development, putting together your capital stack, making sure that the environmentals are where they need to be, working with the community to make sure that the community is in agreement with what you're building. But it's also important to note that development is probably one of the hardest things to do when it comes to real estate, because there are so many different layers and levels that you have to climb, and so many different partners that you have to work with, so many different hats that you have to wear, which is why I call myself a mayor, right? I call myself the mayor of Flux City. And that's because of the fact that you are engaging with so many different stakeholders throughout the duration of the project.